Alright, John Oaks here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here at our Homer City location, and today we have another addition to our inventory, and this is a 1955 Ford F-100 pickup truck here. You can see this thing's very nice. They've gone ahead and done the whole truck in one basic color, and what that color is, it's kind of a cross. We were kind of told a cayenne red, or maybe a cross between like a burgundy or a maroon. So again, you can see it there in all the photos and the pictures that we're going to be given to you on the website there. But again, you can make your pick as to what color you want to call it. That's kind of where we were at though with it, what we were told. As you can see, the bodywork on this truck's done very, very nicely. All the panels on this thing are, for the most part, all steel. The only thing of notable mention on it would be the hood itself. That is fiberglass, but they've done a custom, it's kind of a roll forward and lift up hood on it from the backside. And we'll show you that here a little later when we get to that engine portion of the video there. But anyways, they've done a real nice job fitting everything up here, so you can see, real nice. So again, all of our panels here, we've got steel fenders, we've got steel cab, steel running boards, steel fenders on the back, and those are the step side style fenders there. And again, our bed itself is all steel, including the tailgate back there too. Everything is super straight on this vehicle, nicely done. You can see here all the nice classic lines that you have on one of these trucks. You still retain all of that on this particular pickup truck. As far as wheels and tires go, they went with 16-inch wheels the whole way around the truck. They are the American Racing Torque Thrust 2 polished aluminum wheels. Again, 16-inch, and then for tires, they went with BF Goodrich Traction TAs. Now sizes front to rear, they are a little bit different. On our front we've got 225, 60 R16s. On the back, just for a little bit of difference there in the rake of the truck, and to give it just a little more bulkier tire back there, they went with a 295 50 SR16 there on the back. So again, tires are all matching tread, all matching name brands. Again, they've done very nice bodywork and nice job at lining all the panels, fitting them up. Again, the running boards are all steel. They've got the little step right there on them, and that's all screwed in. Looks to be like stainless screws that are holding everything together there. As far as our mirrors go, just one on this truck, just on the passenger side. Obviously, it's just a manually adjustable mirror here. And then all the glass in this truck, if we look at the windshield, it's in pretty good condition. I don't see any cracks or any chips of mention, you know, here up front. Our molding around here, it's all black. There's nothing polished on the moldings around the window, but it's in really good condition here too. It's got the windshield wipers. He also has that cowl vent up here too that you can operate to help let some air into the cab there as well. As far as our side glass here, the wing window, it's in good shape. It is tinted. We can tell that only because some of the tint on the inside, right along the edge, you can see where it might be lifting just a little bit. But again, it's an older job, but again, for the most part, it's all nice. The glass itself, no chips or any cracks in that glass. And our trim along here, the bright work, that's in good shape too. There's no pitting on it, nice and straight. We come back here to our door handle. Again, it's nice. They've got, looks to be a vinyl inlay here, kind of like that chrome vinyl that they put in here, just to protect that whenever you're reaching in. If you have a key or anything in your hand, it's not going to scuff that door any. It's going to meet up with that decal. We'll open our door up here, take a brief look inside here. You can see our same color as the exterior. It comes on the inside of the doors as well as on the interior of the vehicle, on that dash especially. They've color matched that to the outside of the vehicle. Other than that, a two-tone interior, kind of a gray and white interior in here. Bench seat, got the gray carpeting inside and the gray headliner and sun visors there as well. We'll be looking at the interior a little bit later, but I can tell you that thrown in a custom gauge panel in there, all white face gauges. They've done looks to be a chrome column in there, as well as a banjo style steering wheel. So again, we'll take a closer look at that a little bit later. As you can see, the door shuts real nice. It's got all the rubber weather stripping here and seals in it. And again, it's adjusted real nice. It closes real easy, nice and tight there too. You can see our gaps also on the back side of the door as well as up front here. Again, nice tight gaps. So again, that panel fitment, really nice on this truck. As I mentioned, we've got our bed back here. These are all steel bed. So the sides, front, and the tailgate, all steel, including these fenders, all steel as well. We've already gone over those wheels and tires with you, so you know what you have there. As far as the fuel tanks, now we'll see that whenever we get to the underside video, but I do want to point out it remains in stock location here. Your fuel fill is right here, so that's how you'll get in to fuel up the truck there. So again, they've retained that. A lot of times you'll see people that'll do the body work over that, and then they'll relocate it maybe underneath the bed. This one they've left unmodified. They've kept it there and kept the bed nice and straight inside here with no alterations in here either. As we come to the back side, you can see also with our fenders, you've got that fender welting that goes in between the fender and the bed side. All of that is in excellent shape, probably all new stuff in there too. So again, it's going to make all that fitment all that more better. And then as far as our taillights go, you can see our taillight assemblies. These are probably all new. Wiring looks to be all new back here too. The chrome back on these lights is in excellent shape. There's no pitting, and the lenses are in excellent shape on them too. There's no cracks or chips in those. And your license plate holder is right down here as well. So we'll go ahead and bring our camera to the back. We'll take a look at the rear, the tailgate here and bumper. We'll also lower that tailgate so you can see the beautiful wood bed that's in here and those slats that are in between, which of course they've painted to match the rest of the truck. So, all right, so now that we're around the backs of our 55 Ford F-100 truck here, we can see the tailgate obviously clear as can be. We can see beautiful chrome rear bumper on this thing, nice and straight, and that thing's shined to a mirror finish on here. So again, real nice bumper and tailgate, metal work back here. Again, those tail lights, all new stuff back here. You can see the lenses are in excellent shape. There's no cracks or chips in any of that. Also, right below our bumper here, we have these stainless exhaust tips back here too, welded on to the tailpipes here on the exhaust system. Gives it a real nice finished out look back here for the exhaust. Now as far as opening up our tailgate to look inside, real easy to open. There's just two little latches in here, two little knobs that we can reach in here, raise straight up on them, and then we can go ahead and lower our tailgate down. Now again, it is a steel tailgate, but it's nice and light. Hinges work perfect back here. They're going to hold it up no problem whatsoever. You can see inside now that beautiful wood bed back here. Looks great. You've got your metal slats in here, all color matched to the same color as the exterior of the truck. You can also see that this truck here has not been tubbed out. No mini tubs, nothing like that. Just your standard wheel tubs in here. And you can see they've used some stainless bolts in here too to help dress things up. And again, the weather and stuff's not going to corrode those bolts at all, so they're going to stay just the way they're looking right now. Now if we look up a little further at the back side of our cab, we can see the rear glass in here too. That is in excellent shape. It looks to have a slight tint to it, not very much at all, just a slight tint. Again, the black molding around there looks good, matches up with the molding that's on that front windshield as well. So again, not really a whole lot to talk about back here. Again, just all metal, all steel bed. You can see how nice the bodywork and fitment is on this thing. And you can see how nice that tailgate actually works. And again, very, very light. So again, you don't have to worry about it crashing down. The latches work really good on this. They latch in place and your tailgate's good and secure there. So again, that's pretty much everything across the rear. All right, now here we are on the passenger side of our Ford F-100 here. So again, nothing that we haven't gone over already, so we'll just quickly go up here. Again, those taillights, you can see the wiring here. That's all new. You can see the fender welting here in between the steel fenders and the steel bed sides. Again, that helps protect it whenever they're bolting everything up nice and tight and makes everything fit real snug and secure there. We've already talked about wheels and tires. We know what size they are, we know what name brand they are, so they all look good. The fit and finish on all the panels is excellent. Again, the steel running boards on this side all painted up. You can tell it probably hasn't been used very much to stand on, as a matter of fact. But again, looks good here, and they would be functional if you needed them to be. Again, you've got the little step pads there on the running boards. Again, mounted down with some stainless bolts so that you don't have any kind of deterioration of those bolts throughout time. As far as our door goes, again, you can check out our gap here on the back side as well as up front. You can tell that everything's been fitted up nicely. You've got your door lock over here, your keyed lock. Now again, on this truck, as with a lot of other trucks, you'd only ever have one exterior keyed door lock on the truck. They did that a lot because they understand that the passenger, or the driver I should say, is going to be over there when he wants to get out of the truck. He's going to open it up from the inside mostly. But again, you do have that keyed lock here. You just flip your little lid here, or your little lock cover, and your key fits right in there. So again, that functions as it should. Again, the door handles, the finish on those are very good. Same as the underside. They've actually used that vinyl in here for protection, so when you reach in, if you have a key or anything else in your hand, a ring or anything that could possibly scratch in here, that's going to help protect it in there. So we'll open this side up here too. Just take a quick peek. You can see the color, exterior color, continues its way on the inside along the top of the door here, and the dash all follows through there. Again, the two-tone interior, bench seat in there, and the carpeting all matching. So we'll take a look at that here in just a minute. Door closes up on this side, again, real nice and easy. Again, all of our trim here, the bright work is all in excellent condition. No pitting, nice and straight. Even your wing window on this side, very nice condition. No cracks or chips whatsoever. And the weather stripping and molding around that is in excellent condition. Now they go ahead and they added in this antenna here. So I would assume, without looking just yet, it's probably got a radio in it. We'll take a look at that also when we go inside. Again, we've already mentioned the windshield up front, the molding that goes around that windshield in real good shape here, and our wipers, the wiper blades themselves are in real good shape too. Again, you can see we got some vent work here on the side here. Looks good, some stainless screws in there also that holds that in place. The fender welding for the front fenders, steel fenders again up front here. Our fiberglass hood, which again, you can take a look at all of this and see how well this all fits together. I know it's hard on some of these front ends that do these lift hoods like this that come forward. Sometimes it's hard to get the body panels lined up really nice, but they did a real good job on this. And we'll show that hood lifting up for you here in just a minute. So that really brings us up to the front of the vehicle. Okay, we finally made it now to the business end of this truck, the front end here. And you can see just how nice this thing is. The beautiful chrome front bumper on it. Nice and straight, highly polished. So again, they've really paid a lot of attention to this bumper, getting it looking real nice here. Again, stainless bolts all holding everything together. You've obviously got the provisions down there for an additional license plate if you would need to or would want to have something up front there. Obviously, you can see the next thing here, which would be our front grille. Again, I love the grills on these older trucks, the looks of them. They've color matched this to the rest of the truck to customize it a little bit more. So again, it looks great. It's in good condition. Again, all intact. It's got the bright work here right in the center for your grill emblem. So again, all that looks good. Now they have upgraded the headlights on this particular truck too. They've gone to a tri-bar design, and these are the HID lights too. Not your traditional seal beam lights, but you do have your HID bulbs in there. So again, it's going to provide you a lot better nighttime vision out there if you're going to be running the truck at night. Now the other thing that we talked about was the hood itself. Again, it's a fiberglass hood. You could see how nice that hood is though from the outside here. Looks good. They've got it fitted up super nice on this truck. And the only other thing that they've done here too, which is a real nice touch, is they've gone ahead and they've put one of the rear lift hood kits on it. So what you do is there's a couple of latches underneath, and we're going to show that to you here in just a minute. but you'll just unlatch it, pull it forward, and then we're going to lift that hood up. Now once we get that hood lifted up, obviously we want to show you what's in here for the engine here, but we want to go ahead and show you first just how this hood operates with that whole lift from the back hood kit here. So we're going to reach under here, get our hood latches here, got her unlatched, and then we want to reach under, find our first latch, and it's going to wheel right out. It's got a whole mounting system here, a whole bracket kit of little rollers and kind of like framework that it rides on. So as you can see, it's lifted up and forward. Now what we're going to do is just lift this thing up. So I got to go from the underside because we have our hood prop there. So I'm just going to lift up. Again, it lifts nice and easy. We're going to reach up here, grab our hood prop, and we'll lock it in place. And that way you get to see exactly what it looks like, all tilted forward. So again, real nice. What we'll do now is we're going to come to the side here so that we can actually talk to you now about the engine that's in here and some of the components and on there. We can also take a look at that framework and the bracketry there for that lift forward hood. That way you get to see how it actually works. Alright, so obviously we've got our hood lifted forward. We've got a set of rollers on the top side of our hood here towards the back. Those rollers will actually come down in contact with this framework down here, these brackets, and as you can see, they'll ride across the top here, and then they'll go right down in there, and that's what allows that hood to come back down where it's positioned where it should be, and then able to push it backwards into place where it latches in place for you. So again, just a real nice, easy to assemble, easy to use kit here for that lift forward design. Now as far as the engine goes now, we've decoded everything, all the numbers on this. What we have here is a 1979, this is a 351 Windsor motor here. So again, it is a Ford engine. It's just they had the Clevelands, they had the Windsors back in the day. This is the Windsor. We have a ball milled air cleaner sitting on top of an Edelbrock carburetor. That is a 1406 series carb, which would be a 600 CFM carburetor. We also have an Edelbrock aluminum intake on there as well, and then they've gone ahead and dressed it up a little bit by adding these Ford Racing valve covers here, aluminum valve covers there embossed with the Ford Racing logo on those. Now there is the PCV valve and the breather on these valve covers, so again, everything's going to function just as it should. They've gone ahead also and they've added aftermarket vintage air conditioning on this particular vehicle too. So you can see the actual compressor sitting right there on top of the motor, all hooked up, belts are all run as they should, hoses are all hooked as they should be too. Along with that, we've got a stock style radiator in here, and they've gone ahead again to help dress this thing up. They've added in the CoolFlex upper and lower radiator hoses along with a chrome fan shroud in here too to help with that whole cooling system. Now as far as the ignition goes on this particular vehicle, slight upgrades to this as well. They've gone ahead and they've actually remained with the stock style distributor in here, but they have upgraded the coil, the plug wires, and the box itself here. So we have an MSD 6A box along with an MSD blaster coil. We've also added in here a set of Excel Super Stock 8mm plug wires. So again, you've got the intake and the carburetor here to help with fuel delivery, fuel and air delivery, and you've got the upgraded ignition system here to help with that spark also. So again, going to help with the performance. Something else that's going to help with the performance on this particular motor, and that is the set of headers that they've got in here to help it breathe. We've got a set of looks to be jet coated BBK shorty style headers in here. Now they didn't skimp on these. Those are, you know, a pricey header there. Again, it's dual exhaust all the way back to a set of, I believe they were Flowmaster style mufflers with the tailpipes, and then those stainless exhaust tips out the back. So again, they've kind of thought of everything. They've got the fuel and air delivery, they've got the spark, and they've got the exhaust system here too to help complement all of that. As far as anything else that I can think of right now, we've got stainless braided hoses here for some of our heater lines. This truck is a power rack and pinion steering. It does have that. We'll show that to you here when we get to the underside of the vehicle. It's also a power brake vehicle, so disc brakes up front, drums in the rear. You do not see your booster and master cylinder out here though. That's because it's all plumbed up underneath the truck in what would be the stock location for this vehicle back in the day. So again, all of that we'll show you once we get to the underside, but for right now, we're all done here. We're going to close this up and we'll go inside and show you just a little bit about the interior before we get it on the lift. Alright, so now we're inside of our 55 Ford F-100 pickup truck, and we're going to go ahead and discuss what we have here for the interior. As you can see out at the door there, we've got the same color on the inside here as what we do on the outside of our truck. It's the whole way down the doors and throughout the dash here. Now you can see they did put the door panels in, two-toned it, gray with the white inlays in there, so it looks pretty good. The armrests on both sides are in real good shape. You don't see any splits, tears, or cracks in any of the upholstery. It all looks good. The bench seat that's in here is the same as what our door panels is. Two-tone gray and white bench seat. We've got seat belts here also. Our headliner itself, headliner looks to be in pretty good shape. It's gray here. It's tacked up nice and tight here. We've got the sun visors here too that are the same color gray. They've also gone ahead and upgraded their steering column here. This is a tilt wheel. It looks to be either chrome or a polished aluminum. I think it was a chrome though. I think I stuck a magnet to it there. And anyways, they've gone ahead and upgraded the steering wheel too. It's the banjo style steering wheel. So again, a lot of guys put these in their older cars, street rods and older trucks. Nice classic looking wheel here. Then you've got the Ford horn button right here in the center. As I said before, they've gone ahead and upgraded the gauge panel in here. As you can see, this is a billet aluminum piece here, the gauge panel itself, and it's got all Autometer white face gauges in it. The gauges all include are the voltmeter, oil pressure gauge. We've got the speedo right there in the center, and it's got the digital readout for the odometer. Got the water temperature gauge, and of course, most importantly, the fuel gauge over here. As we said underneath the hood, aftermarket air conditioning, vintage air name brand air conditioning. So we've got the control unit for it right here. You've got the vents underneath the dash here too, several areas over on your driver's side, passenger side, and right up the center here for you too. Got your e-brake down there as well, a low car shifter here for you too. So again, they've gone ahead and upgraded some things in here, but kept a nice classic look to everything as well. So with that said, that's pretty much everything in here. I mean, the carpeting's in good shape. They've gone with a matched set of pedals for everything, for your gas, your brake, and your dimmer switch even for your headlights. So everything matches, everything looks great. So with that, we're all done here with the inside now. All right, now we got our 1955 Ford F-100 up here on the lift. We're going to take a look at the underside. Obviously, you're going to see how nice this truck really is. And we can really, inspect the suspension that's on this truck, because again, it's all aftermarket stuff and it's been all upgraded. So, starting up front here, as far as front suspension, we've got a complete Heights Hot Rod Shop front suspension kit. Complete cross member here, control arms, both lower and upper control arms, strut rods, coilover suspension on this. They're adjustable coilovers. Disc brake front brakes on this thing, and it is power brakes too, and it is power rack and pinion steering. So upgraded front suspension. This truck's going to ride like a dream here for you. Now as far as those components, again, it's all new stuff, so all of your bushings, all of the ball joints, all of that stuff is going to be in good condition. It's been maintained well. Again, just going to give you a real nice ride quality here on this truck. We might as well discuss the rear suspension on it too while we're talking suspension, because it's been upgraded too. As far as the rear suspension on this car, we're going to start off with 9-inch Ford rear housing here. This is a limited slip differential here, and you can see they've gone with the parallel 4-link rear suspension on this truck. Painted up here gray, no rust or anything to speak of, no scale, no nothing. It's all new stuff. brackets welded in real nice on this particular rear end here. And this has adjustable coilovers on it as well. Now again, with a parallel 4-link rear suspension, you do have to have the panhard bar, which is in here. So the brackets are all bolted here to the rear housing, brackets welded to the frame there, bushings and everything on that, all brand new too. So again, front, rear suspension, all Heights hot rod, and again, it's going to give you a real nice ride quality on this truck. Again, I've already mentioned we've got power brakes. They're disc up front. They do have drums on the rear of this vehicle, but again, braking is going to be real nice as far as that goes. Driveline. We have a 1979, this is a Ford 351 Windsor motor in this truck. It's backed up with the Ford AOD transmission. That's automatic overdrive here. You can see the drive shaft's been painted the same color as the exterior and what you can see here of the underside of the truck. So that all blends in real nicely here. We've got an aftermarket upgraded transmission brace here, tubular transmission brace. And again, the bushing there holding the tail shaft, that's in excellent condition there as well. Exhaust work on this vehicle. We've got a set of BBK shorty type headers on this. They come down dual exhaust here, so you see both pipes right here. They've got those routed real nice here, a set of dual Flowmaster mufflers. And of course, we've got tailpipes that exit out the rear with a nice set of chrome exhaust tips back there too. Now you can see the underneath of this truck, very, very nice. Painted up floors here. Again, we've got steel cab, we've got steel running boards, steel fenders on this truck. Everything's painted up real nice to match everything. The truck bed itself, sides and everything, as we've already gone over, are all steel. We do have the wood bed floor though in it, and that's in excellent shape. As you can see from underneath the truck here, the wood looks great underneath here. Fuel system on this truck, we've got a stock fuel tank. We do have an electric fuel pump that's mounted underneath here. All of the brake lines and fuel lines are run right up inside the frame rail, real nice and neat and looks real good. You've got all new brake lines, even the rubber hoses and so forth, going to the drums and to the front calipers. Those are all in excellent shape too. Now they've moved the battery, it's down here now. So all your battery hookups and everything are going to be right down here. Keeps the engine component real nice and clean up there. Again, with that Ford motor, it's a little bit of a wider block, so it helps just make some room up there, so you have you know, a little bit of room to do any kind of work that you might need to do there. Power brakes on this vehicle too. Your booster and master cylinder are right down here, pretty much stock location. So that's all plumbed in right down here. So again, it keeps that engine compartment nice and clean. As far as everything else on this truck, like I said, I mean, all the floors, you can see that, all in great shape. All of our brackets here going out to the running boards on both sides, those are in excellent shape. The frame rails are nice and square and straight the whole way back on this truck. Just overall, real nice unit here that we have. So